Hello, my name is Mark Simons and I'm the Principal Consultant at EL Consults, the Sustainability Consultants. Today I'd like to give you a brief overview of what SAP calculations are and why you need them. SAP stands for Standard Assessment Procedure, and as designed, SAP calculations are required by Building Regulations Part L at the beginning of a project, a building project for a block of flats, a conversion into 2 flats, or an extension. You'll be asked for the heat loss of your design, and the reason for that is the government want to ensure that the building complies with current building regulations in terms of the energy efficiency of the building. Once your plans are carried out, the heat loss calculations are carried out, and then they're given to your project manager, to your builder, and there's a set of U values there that they need to comply with during the building project. Obviously, if there are changes during the build, speak to your sustainability consultant, find out whether or not there are any implications on the thermal heat loss of the building, and is it still going to pass. Sometimes adjustments can be made in one area to compensate for another, but it's important to just make sure that your builder's aware that if any changes are made to the glazing, to the heating, the insulation, that it's run past your sustainability consultant. If it's done at the beginning of the process, in terms of what heating you want to use, etc., or any particular ideas, you can make informed, cost-effective decisions on the design, thermal design of the building. If you wait till the end of the process to do your SAP calculations, it's more problematic because you don't know whether it's going to pass. You might need to make changes that will cause costs and also delays. So make sure that you know what's required. Your building control officer should tell you that you need SAP calculations. Sometimes they don't, but they assume that you know what's required from the building regulations. So don't leave it to chance. If in doubt, call us or speak to your sustainability consultant to make sure you're on point. So it's important to engage in the green process, the sustainability part of your building, because nowadays it's something that really people are looking to. It reduces the cost of the heating of the building, comfort levels are better. It's a good marketing tool, and it doesn't need to cost much more than it would cost for a conventional build. Nowadays air source heat pumps are more or less not far off on point from a conventional heating system, because then when you factor in you've got to put a gas supply to a building, you know, these factors impact on the cost, the overall cost, and really if you compare it with an air source heat pump, there's not much difference. Obviously if you're doing a ground source heat pump, there are more costs. It takes a bit longer to get payback, but then the benefit is better further down the line. But anyway, there are definitely lots of options to think about, and nowadays all buildings are going to need some form of renewable. So one other thing to bear in mind is tell your builder, your project manager, to keep a record of what they're doing. So if the glazing, a letter from the glazing company just stating what the U value is, and the builder needs to keep a proper record, pictorial as well, of the insulation, because at the end of the process the sustainability consultant will need to see that. It will need to be evidenced that the design, what was specified in the SAP calculations, was carried out, and because it's then turned into an on-construction EPC, and the sustainability consultant is monitored and they have to evidence that this work has been done, and that's why they're asking you. So it's important just to make sure you keep a record of what was done. You will also be asked for U-value calculations, maybe thermal calculations. Again, that's something your sustainability consultant can help you with. It's not overly onerous, and it's a lot easier for them to do it rather than try and do it yourself. But that's a brief overview of what SAP calculations are and why you need them. The only thing I'd add is that just beware that the on-construction EPC at the end is not a normal EPC as you'd get for an existing dwelling. It's a full SAP EPC, which is a lot more comprehensive than a normal reduced data SAP EPC that you have for an existing dwelling. A lot of people make that mistake, and sometimes they get it carried out when the building control officer asks for an EPC and think it's the same thing. It's not, and you should be aware of that. Anyway, if you'd like any further advice or assistance on the projects you're working on, please feel free to give us a call. We have a free advice hotline, and we'd be more than happy to help you in any way we can. Our number is 0208 930 5668. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.